Phase 2. Completion. Realizes eternal objectives with victory in time, the more phase. Judgment 2. The Tribulation. Although opinion often holds the tribulation to be largely a reign of terror introduced by the devil and his earthly minion the Antichrist, and so it is, the Bible is quite specific in indicating that its primary purpose is one of divine judgment upon the earth, the devil's kingdom, and its inhabitants, hostile to God for the most part, especially during the tribulation. Revelation 6:10. Behold, the Lord is about to empty the earth and lay it waste, and he will mar its face and scatter its inhabitants. Isaiah 24:1, chapters 24 through 27 deal primarily with the end times. Get out, my people. Go into your rooms and close your doors behind you. Hide yourselves for a little while until my indignation has run its course. For behold, the Lord is about to come forth from his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. And the earth will reveal the blood shed upon it, and conceal its slain no longer. That is, the persecution of believers will be punished. Isaiah 26:20 and 21. The principle of the tribulation being first and foremost a period when the Lord judges the earth can also be clearly seen from the 7 final plagues of Revelation, Revelation 15:11 through 16:21. These plagues are all righteous judgments from God upon the earth and its sinful inhabitants, and are very similar in their nature and execution to the plagues he wrought upon Egypt for persecuting Israel, Exodus 7:14 through 12:30. This is no surprising matter when one considers that the plagues of Revelation, chapters 15 and 16, are the divine response to the persecution of God's people worldwide, which will reach a fever pitch during the Great Tribulation. Then I heard the angel of the waters saying, O you who are and always were the Holy One, you are justified in rendering these 7 bold judgments. For the inhabitants of the earth have poured out the blood of your saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink. They deserve it. Revelation 16:5 and 6. While the entire 7-year tribulational period will be one of intensifying judgment, the apex of that judgment will come when the full fury of God's wrath is revealed immediately before, during, and after the Battle of Armageddon, the time when a returning Christ will slaughter all the armies of the world that Satan has assembled to do battle with him. The 7 bowl judgments, the final plagues, Exodus 7:14 and 12:30, Revelation 15:1 through 16:21. Then great hailstones the size of a talent, that is, approximately 80 pounds, were coming down out of heaven upon mankind, and they blasphemed God on account of the plague of hail, because that plague was very severe. Revelation 16:21. The destruction of the beast's kingdom, Babylon has fallen. Isaiah 13:19 through 22, and Revelation 14:8. Now, as for the 10 horns which you saw and the beast, these will come to hate the harlot Babylon, and will render her desolate and naked, and they will eat her flesh, and will burn her up with fire. Revelation 17:16. The terrifying signs and wonders, heaven and earth shaken. Isaiah 24:18 through 20, Isaiah 29:6, Ezekiel 38:19, Joel 2:29 and 30, Luke 21:25 and 26, and Revelation 6:12 through 17. Behold, the day of the Lord is coming, a mighty day of anger and intense wrath, to make the earth desolate and remove her sinners from upon her. For the stars of heaven and the constellations will not flash forth their light. The sun will grow dark on its course, and the moon will not pour out its light. Then will I punish the world for its evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. I will bring an end to the arrogance of the proud, and bring down the haughtiness of the ruthless. I will make men more rare than gold, and mankind than the choice bullion of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth will quake from its place, on account of the anger of the Lord, and on the day of his fierce wrath. Isaiah 13:9 through 13. The harvest of the earth, Armageddon, Isaiah 11:4, Ezekiel 38:1 through 39, 21, Joel 3, 9 through 14, and Revelation 14, 17 through 20. Send forth the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down into the winepress, for it is full, and the vats overflow. For great is their wickedness. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of doom. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of doom. Joel 3:13 and 14. The lake of fire, judgment of the Antichrist and the false prophet, Daniel 9:27, 11:45, and 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And the beast was seized, and the false prophet with him, the one who had performed the signs before him, with which he had deceived those who took the sign of the beast and worshipped his image. The two were thrown alive into the lake of fire, which burns with sulfur. Revelation 19:20. The abyss, apprehension and imprisonment of Satan and his angels, previously thrown to earth in the middle of the tribulation. Isaiah 14, 3 through 23. Ezekiel 28, 11 through 19. Daniel 4:35. 1 Corinthians 6, 2 and 3, and Revelation 12, 4. And I saw an angel coming down from heaven with the key to the abyss and a great chain in his hand. He seized the dragon, the primeval snake, who is the devil, that is, Satan, and he bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss and closed it, putting his seal upon it, so that the devil might not deceive the nations any longer until the 1,000 years had elapsed. After this, he must be released for a short while. Revelation 20, 1 through 3. As seen from these events, Judgment Phase 2 is indeed the more phase, both because of the increased level and intensity of the judgment. The devil and his angels did not suffer in God's condemnation of the original universe, and also because of the more permanent consequences the judgment produces. Instead of being paroled, they are defeated and imprisoned. Phase 2 is thus the initial fulfillment of Phase 1, wherein judgment was rendered in principle by God upon Satan and his angels, before human history began, as we have seen, and is a development made possible by the victory of Christ on the cross and the subsequent completion of his church. The Phase 2 judgment upon the earth and its inhabitants will, as indicated, also be an intense, experiential reality, carried out in a miraculous and supernatural way. The removal of the restraining influence of the Holy Spirit at the beginning of the tribulation, 2 Thessalonians 2, 6 and 7, will allow the devil and mankind to go to extremes not previously permitted, thus vindicating for all to see the justness of these intense judgments, comparable to the special opportunity given to Pharaoh to harden his heart beyond normal limits. The tribulation is thus the penultimate step in the complete removal of Satan and his influence from God's creation. Having first condemned Satan, Isaiah 14, 3 through 23 and Ezekiel 28, 11 through 19, God proclaimed his eventual defeat, Genesis 3:15, laid the foundation for it at the cross, Colossians 2:15, expelled him and his angels from heaven at the tribulation's midpoint, Revelation 12, 7 through 9, and locked them all safely away in the abyss for the duration of his Son's millennial reign, Revelation 20, 1 through 3. When this second phase of judgment is complete, only God's final disposition of the devil, his minions, unbelieving humanity, and the sin-infested cosmos will remain. Until that time, Phase 2 judgment will have cleared the way for the corresponding restoration and replacement based upon the victory of Jesus Christ on the cross. Now the judgment of this world is imminent. Now the ruler of this world is about to be cast out of it. John 12:31.